So big thank you to NBA 2K for providing me temporary access to the initial set of freaky cards in my team. Specifically, I wanted to check this Paul George card out, who in my opinion may be the best shooting guard in the game. I don't know, you tell me. But I did get a chance to use him so that you can make an informed decision whether Paul George is worth your hard-earned MT or virtual currency. So if you've seen some of my videos, you know that I'm very high on the pro play implementation for Paul George's animations in NBA 2K24. I have a separate video that provides a tutorial in Paul George, but in this video, we're going to look specifically at Diamond Paul George and maybe a few of the other cards that are featured in the initial freaky drop. But Paul George, in my opinion, is the star of this drop, even though Magic Johnson is the collection lock-in. So we're going up against a relatively decent lineup. Anthony Davis is good, Kawhi Leonard is good, Dwayne Wade is good. I don't know about Jeff Hornacek and Jabari Smith may not be the best card for this time, but we're gonna try and feature Paul George here. So we're going to take a look at dribble combos, different animations, how best to use Paul George in a my team setting, specifically in a 5-on-5 setting. So I forced that shot right there. Wasn't very happy with the shot selection. I wanted to go for a spin jumper, but instead, my angle of launch was too close to the basket and gave me a spin layup. He took a bad 4-pointer, but AD was there for a rebound. AD is still one of those cards that are very good in this game. So here I try to break Kawhi Leonard down with a simple size up into a nice speed boost launch, and that was so fast. Caught him off guard, led us to that spin jumper. And I'll be honest, man, you know what? A lot of people were kind of freaking out because Magic Johnson at this stage of the game, we don't really need big point guards at this time. But if you're not used to playing with someone like Magic Johnson, in my opinion, he's significantly inferior compared to other point guards in the game, specifically. For my playstyle, at least, I prefer someone like Steph Curry, even Kyrie Irving, Dwayne Wade, in my opinion, might be easier to use for most people. So there we go with Big Sim with a nice steal. And of course, if you're using Manu Ginobili, you have to use the Euro step. Manu Ginobili, not someone that I particularly enjoyed using. His shot is not something that I really like. And my God, my opponent killed me right there. Magic Johnson, although he's big, he's decently quick. I'm not a huge fan of the playstyle that you have to use with Magic Johnson, but as you see here, we combine Paul George's pro play animations with that nice step back jumper to give us a 3-point shot contested by Kawhi. Pretty decent contest right there. And you know what? Let's try to get into our dribble combos with Paul George. So we do the T-Mac launch into a cross launch after a step back. Defended really well, but sometimes good offense just beats good defense. So here I call for a pick. Pretty much the only thing Simbular is really good for is to set really strong picks. I track a double team right there, and let's get Simbular 2 points right there. Not necessarily trying to win in this game, but I want to see what kind of sauce we can get into. And you know what? Kawhi Leonard's still one of the best lockdown small forwards in the game. He switches on to me right there, which is a big mistake. You don't want to switch mid-defensive possession when someone's already got their motion going. I make him pay with a nice scoop layup. And if you're interested in seeing how to use Paul George like I do right here, I also have a separate tutorial for Paul George going through his unique pro play animations and signature animations. We ended up scoring 14 points, 14 out of the 18 points. And you know what? First impression of Paul George is he's really elite. Okay, in the second game, we're going up against Magic Johnson, Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, Sean Kemp, and Kevin Durant. A pretty decent lineup, you know. But in my team, it's not necessarily about who you're going up against. It's whether they know how to use the cards that they have. And I'll be honest, 3 out of the 5 cards that I'm using right now in this lineup, oh my goodness, Paul George, what are you doing, man? 3 of the 5 cards that I'm using in this lineup, not necessarily cards that I would use. I'm not a big fan of Magic Johnson. And Simbular is not my cup of tea, but here we try to break our defender down, and man, he was trying to run away from me, man. It's funny. I don't know, he wanted to go on ball, try a little bit, but you know what? This is one of my favorite moves too. Anytime you're in the break, if someone gets open for an easy transition 3, you see that closeout coming, pump fake, and then escape jumper towards the basket. Sometimes you get fouled, but in that case, we got an open shot. And even though that I'm focusing on offense here in this video, let me tell you, Paul George can lock people up in this game. And one thing that you really want to look out for when using Paul George is his signature pro play animations, in particular this step back jumper on the break, one of my favorite moves in the game. It was a low scoring game, wasn't particularly too exciting after that, but I've seen enough. In my opinion, Paul George, probably the top shooting guard in NBA 2K24 right now. One of my favorite guys that I've used so far in NBA 2K. So even though this is a My Team gameplay, his animations are already available in my career, and I plan on making a second build in a Paul George style player with a lot of his animations. So should you purchase Paul George? That's up to you, but in my opinion, he's the best two-way shooting guard in the game. 6'8" at his position is also unbeatable. I don't have him in my main account yet, and I'm seriously considering getting him, but you know, I'm a sucker for these types of guys, especially with pro play animations, so I probably will. So once again, thank you to 2K for providing me temporary access to the initial set of Freaky cards in my team. I'm also giving away Diamond Magic Johnson. Go check out the Paul George tutorial. The details for the contest are right there. So hope this helped you in making that decision on whether Paul George is worth it and whether he fits your playstyle. So if you're enjoying the My Team content, let me know in the comment section below. Give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.